This video will show you the most powerful technique for overcoming procrastination and show you how to go about it so that you really make the law of attraction work for you. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be explaining more about procrastination to you and giving you some powerful tools that can completely transform the way that you go about the whole process of the law of attraction. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of shake it up. There's something I would probably normally say with this, but what I want to say to make it a little bit different is that the energy that we're putting into what we're doing, that the more committed we are to what we're doing, the more of a reflection we get back from that in life. Now, what I mean by this is when it comes to me creating videos, for example, I created videos for probably a year and a half before I went daily. And when I went daily, it wasn't so much about just the idea that I went daily, but it was that I was putting all my energy into the baskets of doing what I'm passionate about. And as I did that, and as I put all the energy into it, it's almost like I started to get that reflection back to me of what I was putting into it. So think of it in the way that whatever you're putting into what you're doing, you will get the equal reflection back. And if you are just haphazardly putting in it, if you're just like kind of halfway in, halfway out, you will get that reflection. So the idea is that what we must learn to do is to have a strong vision for what we want and why we want what we want. And as we do that, it will pull us, it will give us more momentum to be able to really accomplish what we want. So with this, and as I say in a lot of my videos, it's not so much just about the external thing that we get about what we want to attract, but it's more about who we become. In the same way, kind of use it as a test to yourself. How committed can you be to your dreams or what you're focused on or what you want to accomplish? And as you simply make a decision, and that's really all it is, it's a simple decision that this is worth it, that if I put all my energy into this direction, I will get something out of it. Now, that's the key, and that's one of the main things that helps us not procrastinate, is to have a stronger vision for what we want to experience. And anytime we experience procrastination, realize it's coming from a focus or a dispersed focus on something other than our goals or other than what we want to accomplish. So the idea is to remember what you want to accomplish. Remember the outcome of what you want, the emotions that will bring you. And as you focus on what those are, you'll find that it almost like there's a gravitation to it. You can almost feel it pulling you, and it becomes something that's much easier to do. Now, of course, this is the technique that I've used. This is the technique that I shared on Instagram the other day, and it's also the technique that it's just completely transformed my life. It comes from a book called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and I think I may have shared it on this channel before. But what it is it's simply when we have something we know we should be doing, but we're not doing it, the moment we realize we should be doing it, what we think in our mind is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we simply do it. Now what this does is this minimizes that time that we have to think about it. The more we think about it, the more reasons we build up, and the more that the time goes by, and then we build more and more resistance. So in order to do this, what we must do is simply think to ourselves 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just to simply do it. Now, the power of this as well is as we become somebody that just does what we're supposed to be doing or knows we should be doing, we end up changing our self-image for the way that we view ourselves. We then go from somebody that's just theoretically thinking about doing something, and we become a doer, and that changes everything. When I started creating a video a day here on YouTube, everything began to change because I started to see myself differently. I started realizing that I have it within me to be an entrepreneur, to be somebody that builds something, somebody that makes an impact on people. It's changed everything about me, and I believe it's simply because I got very clear on the vision that I want, and I simply made it a decision. It's just a part of who I am. So the other part of this is that there is a pain and pleasure mechanism that we all live by. It's the same for every single person. We will always move in the direction of what makes us feel pleasure, and we will always move away from what makes us feel pain. Now, the difference from person to person is what do you associate pleasure with or pain with? Me, for example, I associate pleasure with taking action. I associate pleasure with doing what I'm passionate about, which obviously is making videos for you guys. I associate pleasure with eating healthy foods, with feeling very alive. So my actions, my habits all align to that. I associate pain pain with eating junk food, with eating deep fried foods, with eating fast food. I associate pain with sitting around and not doing anything, unless it's like just like to recharge the batteries. But if it's like I'm sitting around all day not doing anything, that makes me feel pain because of my vision of what I know I want to do in life. And anything that moves me away from that, I feel pain, and anything that makes me move forward with that, I feel pleasure. So what I would encourage you to do is to first off realize you can use that 5-second technique. It works really well. All you got to do is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then boom, you wake up in the morning. That's what I do. When I wake up, I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I get up. It's like just a part of who I am. It's just, I'm a doer. It's like the way I think about it, at least. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. That's the other good part about it. The more you go to the gym, for example, and it becomes a part of who you are, the easier it becomes to continue to go, because that's just a part of who you are. It's in the daily habits. It's just that right now we have habits. If we're feeling procrastination, we have patterns and habits of not taking action or not doing something. So all we have to do is realize our pain and pleasure mechanism can be geared towards associating pleasure with taking action, pleasure with the outcome, pleasure with the process. And as we do that, we will move in the direction of what we want. Associate pain with stagnation, with being lazy, with foods that don't serve us. And as we do that, we're going to start to create the mechanism within us to move in the direction that we want. And remember that a lot of times when we're feeling like we want to procrastinate, it's simply because we don't have a vision for what we want to experience. That's not pulling us. It doesn't have enough momentum and gravity to move us in that direction. So what I encourage you to do is to imagine the best version of yourself in a year from now. Where do you want to be? That's what I did. I imagined myself back in February. I said, in a year from now, what is the one thing I could do every day that would dramatically change everything about my life? And I said, you know what? I'm gonna create a video a day. There's not many other YouTubers in my niche or in this niche that create a video a day. There's a couple, but I realized that if I would simply do that, it would change everything. And guess what? Like within a month or two, things really started kicking off. Things grew very fastly, and now we are where we are. But the idea is that what it is it has to do with focus, putting energy and passion into it, knowing and being very clear on the why. And the more we do that, the easier it becomes. So remember, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then simply take action. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. You're gonna start to see yourself that way. Gear up your pain and pleasure mechanism so that you start to move towards pleasure, away from pain. The pleasure is with the process, the taking action, doing and becoming the kind of person you want, and then have a strong vision for what you want to experience, and that will help propel you in the direction that you want. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification gear right next to the subscribe button so that you're able to see the daily videos that I post. Other than that, peace, much love, namaste.